What is up, my little Deinos? Websisi, your host of the Gligars, and we are back for the APA Academy Week 3 battle versus PlatinumHowder and his team be the Delta Gligars. Hopefully I didn't butcher his name too badly, but alas, that's kind of my thing in my channel with my pronunciation. But either way, make sure to check him out. His YouTube channel will be down below in the description, and the matchup, per usual, you can see above my face cam, and it's a pretty tough matchup. Not gonna lie, from team building aspect, because I think he has a very strong mods versus my own team, or what he can bring. Like Necrozma in this generation is a huge threat. Weevil can do a lot of work versus me if I don't be careful enough with it, how I'm gonna be dealing with it myself. He has a semi-sun core in Torkoal and Venusaur, which is always a threat. Gallade actually is a pretty big sleeper versus me, so he has a lot of different things that can force a lot of prep for my behalf. And also something like a GMAX Sandacona is nothing to mess around with, especially because GMAX mechanic is pretty broken in itself, so I have to watch out for his own. But speaking of GMAXs, we are gonna be bringing one of our own, of course, this week with GMAX Gengar, which is gonna be running Dual Stab, Dashing Clean for Weevil, and Trampa and Destiny Bone as a last ditch effort if I find opportunity to take something down with me, which I find useful, especially if throughout the battle I have already burned out my GMAX moves, so Gengar can come in handy in that way. And the Dashing Clean is a primary, like I said, for Trampa, and this is also nice for the Weevil because I can live a Life Orb knockoff from it after Stealth Rocks once I'm in the GMAX form. So that's pretty much the Gengar, and next member of our team is gonna be our Life Orb MattOshea, which he doesn't switch into too well, as you can tell. The only thing that I could think of that can consistently take hits from me would be like a physically defensive Necrozma, which can potentially be a bring from his behalf, depending on how he wants to deal with my MattOshea. The other way, which I have seen him doing versus a Exodual earlier on in this season, was that he ran like Air Balloon Torkoal, and he might do something like that instead and not force Necrozma into defensive role. But either way, I'm banking on MattOshea doing a lot of work in this particular matchup, and I have Stealth Rocks off the chance if I be clicking them, but it was more so there because I didn't find myself needing any other fourth move, so I figured that just in case if I happen to need them, I will have them just in case. But other than that, we are gonna be just clicking butters versus my opponent, and he's not gonna be enjoying being in that position. And then we are gonna be bringing our Weevil check, which is gonna be a Restart Qwilfish with Liquidation and Spikes. Spikes is there primary because I figured that it's better for me to have some sort of hazard that I'm more likely to click instead of my MattOshea and Stealth Rocks, because MattOshea is probably gonna be wanting to attack him more often. And off the chance I feel like that, I figure that Qwilfish might be having more turns coming into its way that it can click spikes for me, and therefore providing some chip damage for my other members of the team to be able to get some clutch kills after one round of spikes, or even more, which I did cogs for. So that's pretty much the Qwilfish, and it's also running Rocky Helmet because it's going to be losing its item when I'm using it versus a Weevil, so I might as well have the Rocky Helmet to provide that little chip from that and punish him for going for that move in itself. And then we are gonna be running our Assault Vest as Snorlax, not this time around being a Sleep Talk set. I finally kind of got past that period of time using Snorlax, and I figured that the Assault Vest is actually really nice, because then I definitely take his rail from his Sun Core being the Venusaur, and under the sun I definitely will be able to kill it with Heat Crash, which is primary there for that. Heavy Slam is there just to be able to hit the Mimikyu, and Facade, off the chance if I get status by a Sludge Spawn Poison or I get burned by Lava Plume from Torkoal, Facade is really nice because with my attack investment I'm definitely two-shotting a Necrozma even if it's max HP, and I will be OHKOing a Venusaur as well off the chance if I'm burned instead of not being status, and then Heat Crash will not be doing the job what I need it for. So that's pretty much the Snorlax. There just to be a bulky attacker and taking on a lot of his special attackers, primarily the Venusaur. And then we are gonna be bringing yet again, I know, Choice Scarf Hydreigon. It's something that I've been thinking about, that if I have to do some free agency changes, but at this point I'm still very happy with the team and banking on the fact that I can find my opportunities to run different kind of item on Hydreigon. But maybe I will look into add some more dedicated speed to my team, and Hydreigon is gonna be providing that yet again with Choice Scarf this week, and it's gonna be Modest Nature as well, outspeeding a Gallade. And with just Dual Staff, Flash Cannon and U-Turn, it's gonna be doing a lot of work versus his offense. The only thing that I cannot outspeed is like Autonomous, Necrozma or Venusaur under the sun. But other than that, this should be the fastest one in the battle ideally, as long as he doesn't bring like Choice Scarf Mimikyu, Choice Scarf Heliolisk or Choice Scarf Weavile, which I think I can manage if those would be the case. But either way, that is going to be the Hydreigon, which ideally would be luring in things like Togetic if it would be showing up, so my Mamoswine can go in ham and take advantage of every single defensive turn he might do versus my Hydreigon. But then the final member of the team, which was a headache to figure out what I'm gonna be bringing, and I opted to go with this kind of Orbeetle, which looks very, very awkward in itself, because it's not actually like dedicated Trick Room sweeper. The Trick Room is actually there just to deter a Dragon Dance Necrozma getting out of hand, because once it gets 2 Dragon Dances up, I don't have a way to outspeed it anymore with my Choice Scarf Hydreigon, for example, so I want to have the Trick Room option to slow it down. And then I can deal it from there. This thing is also there to switching to Gallade because it's holding a Colbo Berry, so I can take the knockoff very easily from it on the first turn and the following turns as well, because I will lose my item in the progress after that. I also have Iron Defense, which enables me to deal with the GMAX Sandaconda a lot easier, because then I'm gonna be boosting my defenses up, burn out his turns, and even though I'm running Trick Room on this, I'm still Bold Nature and not like lowering my IVs, so ideally I still outspeed it, unless he puts a lot of speed investment on it or he happens to get a +1 speed from Hurricane. So this thing has a lot of weight on its shoulders, but ideal situation and in ideal world, depending on the matchup that we are gonna be seeing in front of us very shortly, it's going to be a very key member to deal with things that my other members of my roster didn't really like to do. So that is going to be the team of 6 that I'm bringing versus PlatinumHowder, and now we are gonna be seeing how this match is gonna be turning out. Alright, here we are with the battle versus PlatinumHowder, and let's see what he's gonna be bringing. I feel like Necrozma, Weavile, what else did he have? The Necrozma, Weavile, Gallade, and what else did I expect? Those 3 definitely for sure I think it's going to show up. I wonder why my thing is so dark all of a sudden. But he decides to bring Torkoal, Heliolisk. Oh yeah, Sandaconda was one of the other. So Torkoal, Heliolisk, Necrozma, Sandaconda, Weavile, and Mimikyu. Sorry about the fact that some reason my screen is so dark all of a sudden. I don't know why it decided to do that and not just being normal in itself. But let's see, he could lead with Torkoal or even Heliolisk. I could see myself leading with Hydreigon, because that pretty much gives me a good matchup versus everything. And I have switchings for the other things, so I'm gonna do just that. The fact that he didn't bring Togetic is somewhat nice, because he doesn't really have good answers to Hydreigon for late game. But I'm gonna lead with that. And we are gonna see how this is gonna be going. I'm still really off-ticked by that. The screen, for whatever reason. Like, it's on like a standby lining, even though we are clearly doing things. So hopefully it doesn't look too bad as for you viewers, but I don't know what to do about it at this point. Maybe it's just some reason my Switch is just being a potato, and it's acting like that. But he is short amount of time. Hopefully, yeah, he's gonna be picking his lead, so he was really close on that time. But let's see what he's gonna be doing. The fact that he brought Heliolisk is probably gonna be the target that I'm gonna be using my Snorlax as a initial switching for. And thankfully I do have my Mamoswine to deter it to click electric type moves for free. But let's see what he's gonna be leading with. Shiny Kermit, which is going to be the Heliolisk, okay. So that's going to be his lead of choice, which I don't mind too much, because honestly, he doesn't switching to me all that too well. But he could be able to always hit me back with a Dragon Pulse and do some damage. But honestly, Dark Pulse is pretty free versus him, so I kinda like that. The other option is that I U-turn into my Snorlax, but I also really like the... curious. This could be a choice scarf Heliolist, but I feel like it could be also just life orb attacker. But I'm gonna actually use it. I'm gonna see what kind of Heliolist this is. And what is going to be his... He is choice scarf Heliolist. Okay, that's good to know. That is, he is that kind of set. And now I'm curious to see what is gonna be his initial response to my Hydreigon. He doesn't know yet that I'm choice scarf. But he could have a hunch for that based on how I led with it, and especially when I click U-turn. If he goes into something like Viva, I'm gonna get a huge damage off on it if he expects me to click Dark Pulse. The other thing that I could see coming in is maybe like Torkoal. If it's like a Southwest, Mimikyu could come in, because it has the disguise and then he can kind of avoid to be two-shotted. So if I can break its disguise immediately and go from there and go into Quillfish, that could work. But he's gonna be going into his Torkoal. Okay, so I'm gonna be able to do some little chip. It's gonna be literally only small chip to that thing with U-turn. But let's see what he is going to take about like 5% of damage. So that's not all too much. And here I could just go straight out into my Gengar, cause Gengar can basically just obliterate something with like a Sludge Wave or something, cause I don't think Mamoswine kills it just yet, and he could be Shuckleking, and if he burns me that would be really awful. So I kinda like the idea of just going Gengar immediately and start doing some big damage on him. So that's what I'm gonna be aiming for. And if I can deter this thing clicking Stealth Rocks, it's a lot nicer for me, but I'm gonna just GMAX right from the get-go, and it's just probably gonna go for Max Ooze. Now I'm gonna go for the Max Terror. I don't think Heliolist comes in on me, so I'm gonna Max Terror to trap this thing. And therefore it won't be switching to me. Let's see what he goes into. He does go... Oh, god damn it, I should have gone for the poison move. Now I'm gonna be wasting one of the attacking turns here, and he is choice scarf, so this is really annoying that he got that turn right. But after this I get to go for the Sludge Wave for sure. Or get the Max Use off. That's really annoying. I should have thought about... I did mention that he could go into Heliolist, but I really didn't think that would be his play as choice scarfer, but that's really annoying, and he is gonna realize that yeah, he is immune to this, so good play on him. And he is solar power, so there's a chance he can do a lot of damage to me. But since I am already Gigamaster, I'm just gonna go for the damage and eliminate this Heliolist. It's nice that I can eliminate it, at very least. Let's see what he does. He does go for the Dark Pulse. It's going to do a shitload of damage, which is unfortunate, but I'm gonna be doing a lot of damage back to him. And he is... Yeah, he's gonna be taking a lot of recoil from that, and I could honestly just preserve my Gengar here. Go for the max guard. And then pretty much nerf down this Heliolist to the point that it's going to be only having one turn after this. And if I get my hazards up like Spikes or Stealth Rocks, it should be dead by then. And this is gonna be a turn where he's probably gonna stay in, I would think. But it's unfortunate that I kind of wasted my GMAX form. I tried to go aggressive early to eliminate the Torkoal. But the fact that I didn't click Max Use, that was a misplay from my behalf. And I'm paying the consequences for that. But Gengar is still useful for the late game, because it kind of outspeed the other things. And I can Destiny Bond something like Necrozma if it's not boosted up, and catch him off guard from there. So let's see what he's gonna be doing. He doesn't know exactly when I go for the max guard like what kind of move it is, because I could be Nasty Plot, I could be Encore. There could be a lot of moves that I could be at this point. But curious to see what he's gonna be. He does stay in, so he's just probably gonna be trying to attack me. Yeah, but that won't be working because I did get this one off. And now he only has one turn remaining, and now I can swap into my Snorlax. Meaning that he will be taking the recoil and die from there. So I'm gonna be just swapping into my Snorlax, eat this like a boss, and I should be good to go from there. And that should be pretty much it for Heliolisk. After that, if he happens to preserve this, all I need to do is to get my hazards up and kind of deter him to be able to remove them. And I still keep my spin blocker on the to deal with the Torkoal, try to rapid spin. But this is where we're gonna be seeing that he does go for the Dark Pulse yet again, but we are salvaged, so we tanked this really well. And actually the sun does end from there, so he wasn't the what you call it. He wasn't the heat rock on it. So at this point, I think I'm just going to body slam. I don't feel like having to worry about the Mimikyu coming in. So I'm gonna be just going for the body slam and get a potential paralyzation on anything. Like Sandaconda, for example, which I could see coming in. He does go into the Franklin, which is the Torkoal, which is fine. Because getting any kind of damage on this thing would be nice. And I do have the Facade just in case if I have to worry about that. I do go for the body slam and we do decent damage to him. But he might be defensive on this thing. And at this point I could go into my Hydreigon as he would go for rocks or go for the Lava Plume. So I'm gonna be doing just that, and after that I can just go for the Dark Pulse and go from there. If he gets the Lava Plume burn on the Hydreigon, it's kinda unfortunate. But I am a special attacker, so it would be only deterring my U-turn at that point. He does go for the body press. Oh shit, that's gonna do a lot of damage. But I do manage to live, but okay, I'm kinda off my game right now, considering how that worked out. But that's really unfortunate. I could go for the Draco Meteor here. But I could see him trying to sack the Heliolisk on this turn. But that was a bad turn for my behalf. I shouldn't remember that this thing gets body press. And I feel like I'm gonna check how much this is gonna be doing to Torkoal if he's defensive. If he's defensive versus my Hydreigon, he's gonna be taking 54. The only way I can kill it is a Draco Meteor. So that's what I'm gonna be doing and get rid of this thing if I can. And go from there. He's probably gonna be sacking the Heliolisk. Yeah, that's what he's gonna be doing. Unfortunately, I do drop my special attack on this turn, which is gonna be allowing a setup opportunity either to Mimikyu or for the what do you call it? Necrozma. So I'm leaving myself open to those things, and I'm not really happy how I've been playing thus far, but we are still not out of this by any means. And Mimikyu I don't think can kill me from full, even if he gets to +2, so I'm probably gonna use Snorlax as an initial answer to Mimikyu and go for the Heavy Slam for that thing and go from there. I also have Qwilfish as a way to slow it down, and I have the Intimidate and Rocky Helmet, but let's see what he's gonna be doing. He doesn't know yet if I'm choiced or not, because the Heliolisk was Choice Scarf himself, and naturally he does outspeed me, so he couldn't tell from that. But I'm not really happy thus far how I've been playing, and let's see, who is Annabelle? It's the Mimikyu, alright. So here is the threat that I have to deal with right now. So I could go into my Qwilfish and just liquidation down it at this point. It's gonna be unfortunate if he can bypass my Qwilfish, but I feel like I can slow it down to the point that it should not get out of hand from here. So I'm gonna be doing just this. Get the Intimidate off, so he should not be able to bypass me all too easy. But he's gonna be going for the Sword Dance, and I have to start liquidating this thing down from here. Thankfully I do have the rest as well, so I can heal myself later on. But I do have to keep this thing healthy. He's gonna be going for the another Sword Dance here, so this is getting scary really early, but I have the Rocky Helmet to help me out chipping this thing down. So we are gonna be going just for that. And the Disguise will be taken care of, and it's gonna be losing a little bit of health. And this is where we are gonna be seeing that how much it's going to be actually doing. I haven't cogged for +3, but at this point I cannot really worry about that. I just have to go for the attack and see how much. He is Phantom Force of all things. Okay, that's really interesting. Really interesting. So I could go into my Snorlax, be immune to this, but I feel like I just give him opportunity to set up further. So I don't think swapping out, even if I'm immune to this, I feel like it's better for me to stay in, but that's gonna do a shitload of damage. I'm not gonna lose to Mimikyu of all things. This is really rough. I have to keep this thing probably alive. Okay, he did that much to me, so I do have Ice Shot on MattOshea, so I can still finish it off later. And I feel like I have to keep this thing alive. Still, is there a way for me to rest up later? I do have my ways to still to heal this thing back up. I feel like he has to... This is really rough, cause this was my answer to the Viva, so I might actually go for the rest, as he goes for the Phantom Force. That's my play. Go for the... He goes for the Shadow Sneak. Does he expect this to kill? He does kill me from there, so that's really unfortunate. And the Shadow Sneak on my Mamos, like onto my Mamoswine, will do a lot of damage. So that's really unfortunate, but I just have to go into it, cause it's gonna take the least amount of damage from this. I have a bad feeling about this matchup. The one way how I can beat this is that my Orbeetle can manage the V-Wall, because I have Colbleberry on it. And I also have Bug Pass, and I also have Iron Defense. So I can still get myself out of this, but I just... The early game with how I played with my Hydreigon and the Gengar really set me back a lot. And I feel like his only play right now is to go for the... Okay, he preserves this thing, which is interesting. And he goes into Franklin, which could be Shuckleberry for all I know, based on how he's gonna be switching into me. So, I'm gonna be checking how much Shuckleberry Torkoal would take for my Mamoswine when I'm life orb. Because I could definitely see that being his item, cause considering how he is weak to this thing. Yeah, that's gonna be doing only 46 amount of damage, and he's gonna be able to go for the body press after this, so that's pretty solid play from his behalf. I think my only play is to go into my Gengar. I have to bank on that he is Shuckleberry and he's gonna be going for the body press, so this is where I have to go for a prediction. And I expect him not to go for Lava Plume here. I expect him to be Shuckleberry based on how he's gonna be utilizing that thing as a switching. But please get this one right, please. Okay, he is gonna swap out. Very interesting. I don't understand why that was his play. Interesting. I didn't see that being his move of choice, but I'm gonna be going to my Snorlax. It can take one hit. But that was interesting. I don't know if he predicted me to predict him to be Shuckleberry of all things. But yeah, he's gonna be going for just for that. And now I just go for the Heavy Slam and just finish this thing off. And go from there. He has Drain Punch, so this is gonna be doing more damage than I would expect myself having to take. But he should not be able to gain enough health, because this is a Heavy Slam coming from a Adamant Snorlax. So he is... He is the reducing berry. Does that actually help him out? It doesn't, thankfully. That should be able to take him out. And we do take out the Mimikyu. Okay, that got spooky for a little second. I was very curious to see like why he swapped out from there. Like maybe he was trying to get more life of recall on my Mamoswine, but the way that he played that Torkoal, I think he would be Shuckleberry, but now I'm not too sure anymore. Because he made that kind of double, but I'm nervous about the V-Wall, because I lost my Quillfish as I did. So my only way dealing with it would be my Orbeetle, and have to bank on the fact that I can beat it from there. But if it's gonna be Life Orb, it's going to be very, very dicey. I probably need to get my Rocks up ASAP up, if I can. Or my Spikes either way, but a lot of things have to happen now going to my way that I can beat this battle, because he still has his GMAX Anaconda as well. And he has got me early on in this battle. I'm kinda off for my A game. And there comes the GMAX Anaconda. So now I have to bank on that one of my hopefully MVPs of this battle. Like now seeing even more how this battle is going out. Orbeetle hopefully can come through for us. And we are gonna be seeing what he goes for. He could go for the Stealth Rocks here. If he doesn't pack those on Torkoal. Oh, he's gonna be start going for the attacks. But I'm gonna be going to my Orbeetle. And we are gonna be seeing that what he's gonna... Obviously he's gonna be holding the Pokeball. But let's see what he's gonna be doing. He does go for the GMAX. Now I hopefully don't see like a Rock move, or... I don't think Fire type move would be a thing versus a Mamoswine. I could see the Ground type move being his move of choice. But let's see. Anaconda is also a very scary mode to go up against when it's a GMAX mod, and I kinda hate the fact that I'm facing them back-to-back weeks. You're gonna be seeing that I go up against it next week. He does go for the Sand type move. And this is gonna be doing some recall on me, which I don't like too much that it's going to be doing that. But after this, unless he's faster than me, I should be able to get my iron defense up and I can kind of slow it down from there. Which is pretty cool, but now I have to go for the iron defense. And hopefully he doesn't outspeed me. I do outspeed him. So this is really solid. Come on, Orbeetle. You're my last hope on this battle. Like, I need this set to work out. He does go for the max flare, but we should be able to take this hit as we do. So I like that. And now I can recover up and be able to gain some health from this. But the sand chip plus the sun boost that is gonna be coming into my way, it's gonna be making this dicey. But I think I can take both hits. And once the GMAX form is off, he's gonna be significantly weaker with his Fire Fang. So now we just have to knock on wood, survive one more turn. Come on, Orbeetle. You can do this, man. You can do this. Okay, he does swap out. Very, very interesting play. Who does he swap into? I'm gonna recover on this turn. I hope to see... Okay, it is this thing. Alright. Interesting choice. He just has to react on it immediately, which is a perfectly fine play that he does this. But now I think I swap into my Snorlax because it's going to be able to take the fire type move. And his Mimikyu is already gone, so even if my Snorlax gets burned, it's actually better for me because then I can just... Oh wait, I cannot swap out because it says Sand Tomb. Oh, that's rough. I forgot about how that effect works. So now I basically have to recover. And hopefully I can stall out these. That was a really good turn from him. I forgot about the effects that it actually traps me instead of... I mean, it's obvious that it says Sun Tomb, but I thought it would work similarly how Colossal's thing is gonna be working out. But let's see how much this is doing. It's doing quite a bit of damage and he gets the burn while at it. That's really unfortunate because that's gonna be forcing the recall even further. Yeah, I don't see myself able to win this battle at this rate. I'm losing too much early on. And he's playing really well. So I think what I have to do right now is to get a bug pass off. And hopefully it's gonna leave it to the range that I can revenge kill this a lot easier regardless of what kind of set he is. And that should be in a Sugar Berry range if he happens to be that. But that's really unfortunate. I was able to at least maintain the Sandaconda in check, but that's really bad because that was one of my mons to deal with the Sandaconda as well. So now, one of my plays is to go into Hydreigon and force him to Ice Shot me, but I'm gonna leave myself either way very weak to the Weavile. So this is really, really bad scenario. I don't see myself able to beat that Weavile at this rate. But I'm gonna be going to my Hydreigon either way. And I think Dark Pulse should be able to take it out at this point. Let's see. Dark Pulse does 54 to 64 to max HP, max defense. So I'm gonna be banking on that should be the kill for me. And I'm not gonna drop a Draco on this. But I think Weavile is cleaning up at this point, which is unfortunate that I have to take a loss like this, but it's definitely on me. I think I didn't play my early turn with the Gengar right, and maybe G-maxing so early wasn't the right call either way. But I feel like regardless of that, I think I should have just maxed Oost, and then I would have been able to two-shot the Heliolisk from there. Then he would have had to go into something else like the Gengar, for example. So now he's gonna let this thing go down. And I do finish it off, but I think Weavile is gonna clean up at this point. I really do think so. Unless he is choice locked, then I may have outs from this to make it even closer battle. But I think Weavile, if it's Life Orb, it just comes in and clicks buttons. And I think that's the mon. Yeah, this turning rough. He has Air Balloon on it, so it's not Life Orb set. Okay. Is it my play to stay in? I think Mamoswine can still take a hit from it, but I cannot toss it because he's Air Balloon. So that's really rough. But I think either way I have to Dark Pulse. I'm not gonna, like, off the chance he overpredicts, I might as well try to pop it. But he is air balloon on this. Very interesting breath from his behalf putting air balloon on Weevil. But it does mean that I cannot revenge kill it as quickly with my Momos one if I try to do that. So that's rough. But I think what I can do here is that I could try to go into you. Hopefully I leave a low kick. Or I have to go into Momos one and just bank on the fact that Iso could crash into Ice Shot 2-shots you. Or he's gonna think that I have superpower on this thing and maybe he thinks that I'll leave it. But this is rough. I don't like, I can still, even though this is air balloon and not life orb, he might still be able to clean me up. He does have the low kick, which is going to do a lot of damage, not gonna lie, and I think that's going to be the game. I do a lot of damage to him. But yeah, that's unfortunate. I get a critical hit, but I don't think it's gonna matter all too much because he has the air balloon. And that's going to be it for us. That's pretty much going to be all to... Good game to him for sure. I'm not salty about it, I'm just really disappointed because I played the early game really tough. Really tough, and the body press, the fact that the Sand Tomb traps me was really bad for my behalf. But yeah, we'll cook Heavy Slam, but this might be a case where Viva is able to clean up us at this point. He goes for the low kick. He does finish us off. And that's going to be a game. Good game to PlatinumHowler, he definitely deserved the win. Sorry that I'm a little bit down on this, but it's more so because I'm really disappointed how I played the early game. I don't think it should have been this kind of easy game to him. I think I definitely would have been able to... Like, I know I'm better than this, like basically what I'm trying to say. I know I can do better than this. But he's a potential playoff opponent, so there's always a chance that I do play him yet again. But good game to PlatinumHowler. Make sure to check him out. His YouTube channel will be down below in the description. And hopefully we get to play him yet again this season. I think I can definitely give a better shot at him. But thankfully this was only a 3-0 loss. But it feels worse to me because I think I just didn't play this right at all. But make sure to check him out. And also regards to the UBL battle, off the chance it hasn't gone up at this point, there's a decent chance maybe Old Man Top might not even play versus me. I hope that he does, but it is his final battle of the regular season and he hasn't done too well, so there's a chance that maybe we don't have an upload from the Wednesday 2 days prior to this. So I apologize beforehand if that's the case, but if I happen to upload it, I'm gonna leave a link for that at the end, so make sure to check it out if you haven't seen it yet and if it's been uploaded. But until we are back for the week 4 battle for the APA Academy, until we are back for the UBO as well in our channel, thank you all for watching. I'm gonna be seeing you guys later.